Welcome everybody, it's the first ever qualifying for the MRC Cup Series, and we're just going to get right into it. First car on track is the 45 of Buddy Barksdale, and I am not alone in the commentary booth today. We have the co-owner of the MRC also up here, Mr. Dylan Schwallenberg.
What's up, everybody? We're here at fucking sunny Daytona Beach, getting Daytona ready. Buddy Barksdale going down the backstretch, starting his first time lap, I believe.
Yep, just hit the line, taking his first time lap. This is the qualifying for the inaugural Daytona race here in MRC, where we're going to start the season. For every season that I know of coming up is where all racing seasons should begin, honestly. And we'll see what his first time lap is. He's got two of them. First time around, 47.862. And we really don't have a gauge for what a good time is here because it's the first time any of these drivers have hit this track.
We know the car looks good because this thing looks absolutely phenomenal on this racetrack. And the 45 is really going to be the marker for everybody going forward. So we're going to see just exactly how fast this car is when the others come out, just like you said. And he's going to be the target.
I mean, just by default, this is the guy to beat. We have 46 drivers trying to make a field of 42. If you're in the bottom four, you're in a must race-in situation once we get to the dual races. So 46 drivers will set their time, and Buddy Barksdale, 47.474, is the first time on the board to beat. Again, you just got to finish outside of the or ahead of the bottom top four, so not a whole lot of pressure, but I guess we'll see as the race or as the qualifying goes on how people do. Buddy Barksdale, 47.474, and he will take the first position on the list. And our second qualifier, the number 8 car of Emmy Squizato, hope I'm saying that right, representing No Limits Racing, I believe. Another Chevy taken onto the track here.
Yeah, I believe No Limits is all Brazil. If not, it's definitely 0 Americans running for the team.
Well,
and
0
these guys
North
are fully
Americans.
international. Well, 0 native national Americans, I guess. They're not from the country, and they've come from a different place to come race with the big boy.
We are definitely showing that we live in the United States.
We live in Canada. We don't live in the United States. Emmy Squizato lives in Brazil.
Okay.
It's all over the place.
Nobody knows where anybody is from. But I know this Lenovo car is about to put down a lap time. We'll see if they can beat a 47.474. 47.713. The second lap is always going to be faster. So
Beautiful car made by the guys at Kurtis Racing Designs.
absolutely, yeah. Kurtis Racing really pulling through here for a lot of the teams that needed their paint schemes done pretty last second here before Daytona. A lot of people wanted to get in this series before we closed up the doors for the Daytona entry list.
Yeah, this team is just one of those teams that they're coming in for the first season and looking to build for season 2, just like pretty much everybody else. And, you know, just gaining some experience. This is the first time any of these cars have ever hit the track, so we're seeing how fast they can really go.
And we'll see what
The last
Emmy
car at a
puts
410th
down.
pickup. Let's see what Squizato does.
47.325. All right. So that puts them P1 as of right now. It's more than a whole tenth over the last driver, I believe. It was, what, 47.32 and a 47.47 I think we had. So because Emmy Squizato, P1 at the moment.
Provisional P1.
All right, qualifier number 3. We finally have a different manufacturer on the board here. It is the 91 of Shane Sides, representing Team SB. One of the top 4 teams, I'm sure, to be going forward this season. We'll see how the Fords end up faring against the Chevrolets here today. Chevrolet is very much known for their super speedway victories over the many decades that they've had in the sport. But Ford's kind of on the come up with this Mustang, and we'll see if they can take this Mustang to great heights. As many Ford fans, I'm sure, would love to see that. Coming around 3 and 4, we'll see if Sides is a very good first lap. First
Shane
lap.
Sides has a very interesting sponsor on his car. He's got Transformers on there, the entire franchise, and that's a huge, huge sponsor.
Oh yeah, they're kind of on the rise with the movies too. I mean, the movies have been pretty decent. Also, I should note 47.657. That was faster than Squizato's first time by. So we'll see where that puts Shane. Currently P3 right now behind Barksdale with the 47.47.
That's a great first lap. This Team SB car's got some good speed in it.
Yeah, Ford's looking a little dangerous here. At least just lap 1. I mean, we don't have a lot of info to go on, but as of lap 1, looking pretty fast.
This was a last-minute entry, too. Shane Sides, honestly, was just kind of looking around and seeing if he could even get a ride, and Team SB owner Eric Rodriguez just decided to open his doors and let him right on in. So we're going to see what this last-minute entry can do.
And this last-minute entry puts it P1. Every single lap has been an improvement of about a tenth on the one before. That is...
Track's improving.
Yeah, definitely. That is exactly 0.2 faster than Buddy Barksdale. So that puts Shane Sides, as of right now, position 1 on the leaderboard. Fourth on the track is the number 48 of Cody Llamas, racing for Alpha Connolly Racing. We'll see if the Chevys have anything to answer for that Ford of Shane Sides who just came flying through that last time by.
Yeah, Cody Llamas in one of the Chevys. We got a lot of Toyotas and Chevrolets, and Fords are kind of the lone dogs out there on their own island. So I think this might be the first one that we've seen so far hit the track. Oh, no, the 8 was. Never mind. But either way, the 48's looking fast out there so far.
Yep, we'll see what time he ends up setting once he gets to the line this time by. I think Shane hit something that was maybe like a 47.6 or so to kind of set the stage for the opening lap. I don't think I checked what the last one that went by was. Let's see, 47.727 for lap number 1.
Wasn't faster than Shane's first lap, but still a pretty decent time to set down for the first one.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's still not slow by any means. I guess we'll see, like, probably once we get like 10 or 15 cars in, what the kind of medium lap times are going to be. And the fast time by, we'll see, 47.337. Not enough to take pole. But that is, let's see, pull up my list. That is fast enough for P3. So that takes over Buddy Barksdale's spot at the moment. So Cody Llamas, as of right now, position number 3. And fourth on the track now, or fifth on the track, I believe, is the 52 machine representing Dick Hare Racing. This is Seth Cole.
52 on the track, but number 1 in my heart. Seth Cole going around this racetrack extremely fast, and this extremely good-looking number 52. I'll have to say, I've big up some of these paint schemes, but this has got to be the best one I've seen out there.
And you gotta say, it's promoting health as well. I mean, how can you hate this car in any way, shape, or form? It's promoting health in one of the most intimate parts of our lives. And I think it's very important what Seth Cole is representing here today. And we'll see how fast this Ford takes the line here. 47.615, that isn't slow.
Yeah, pretty decent. One of the better first laps that we've seen. I believe that might be on par with Shane, or maybe a little bit better. So the second lap's really the money lap. So we'll see how fast he can really go right here.
That is a good indicator of how fast they can get up to speed, though. Just like the speed they can bring to the line on the very first lap, it could set the standard for how fast the second one goes. But we'll see if that pattern holds true. It seems like it has so far. And that Trojan Condoms machine flying through 3 and 4, and we'll see what time he's able to get here at the line.
It's a great trait for cars to have, to get off the line good in the duels, especially if they need to make the race, because those things get extremely hectic. Let's see exactly what he runs.
47.227, and that puts him just above Shane Sides by about 5 thousandths of a second. So Seth Cole, P1 through 5 cars at the moment.
Coming out of turn 4, Spike Stinson coming to his first timed lap. The first Toyota we've seen out here on the track today, so let's see what he can do. kind of making the marker for all the other Toyota teams.
Very nice looking number 60 Hewlett Packard machine there for Gateway Racing. Dane Stinson alongside his sibling of some sort, Dane Stinson. Spike Stinson alongside Dane Stinson. Can't remember whose name I said there.
Yeah, brother, cousin, or uncle, whatever relation they are, they're in this together, and they're going to try to tough it out through this season. Lone Star 2-car operation, a bit smaller than the other Toyota operations besides Team Tom's. But yeah, these guys are here and they're ready to get going. So let's see what the first lap is for Spike.
Coming to the line, 47.368. So that will put him P5 on the table as of right now. Our 7th driver on the track, and the 2nd driver for Warren Racing, it is Blake Warren in the Bass Pro Shops number 88 machine.
Blake is really out here doing an owner-driver method. He's having his own team, Warren Racing. All those cars looking very, very sealed off and very fast for this weekend. And here's the Bass Pro Shops Camaro. He's just making his way down the backstretch. Let's see what his first lap's going to come out to be. All these first laps have been pretty similar so far, so let's see if this is in the same ballpark. Maybe even faster.
So far, interesting to note, the top 2 cars, they are Ford, so we'll see if the Chevrolet has the speed to get around Seth Cole and Shane Sides, who are P1 and 2 at the moment. Buddy Barksdale didn't have the best run, still currently last on the board, and first lap by 47.751, so I think Seth Cole might have hit like a 7 or something around there, and he's still got a 2.27 after that, so
I'll give Buddy the benefit of the doubt and say he had the track first, and he had all the dirty stuff all over the racetrack from the testing we had. So, yeah, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for that slow lap time, but it's definitely not going to help for the duels.
no, not at all. I mean, as of right now, only 6 cars have hit the track, but I mean, that's a 4.7 underneath a 3.6, so, you know, we'll see where that ends up going. But Blake Warren, as he comes to the stripe, hits a time of 47.377. So that puts him just above his teammate Buddy Barksdale, and that takes 6th place away from him once again. So just below Spike Stinson, and just below Buddy Barksdale, that is P6 for Blake Warren. Alright, now it is Bobby Jones's turn to take to the track. This is the first car we are seeing from Team Sustry Penske here today. Another Ford, and like we said, they've qualified 1, 2 so far. All the Chevys and the one Toyota have qualified 3 through 7, so we'll see where this Ford ends up going.
Yeah, one of the few guys that are coming from an open wheel background, Tristian Wilhoit, I'll include in that list. Bobby Jones is very decorated though. He's done a lot of open wheel stuff in the Americas. So he got that PureTech sponsorship purely because of that, and he's funding his ride just because of his past successes. So very decorated driver, and we'll see what he can do in this season at MRC.
And we'll see what time he brings to the line here in the Ford. 47.844. I believe that's the slowest we have seen so far.
Yeah, reminiscent of Buddy Barksdale here. The 39 not getting up to speed well, but he still has another lap to go. So let's see what he gets from there.
Yeah, still plenty of time to build that speed and see how he can take it down the backstretch here. I mean, there's really not a lot of difference in the lines that a lot of drivers are taking that I've noticed so far. It just kind of seems of how well that car is trimmed out and hooked up and how well that engine's performing, and perhaps Seth Cole and Shane Sides have brought the best Ford engines to the field today. It's still a little too early to tell, I'd say.
Yeah, very early days in the qualifying order here, and Bobby Jones just coming to his second lap. Let's see what he can get.
Oh, that's a good
4.68.
well, actually, I thought that was a better improvement than what I was imagining. But yeah, 47.468, right below Blake Warren, above Buddy Barksdale. So that will put him P7. And now DJ Kurtis comes to the line, the first car for Flipside Racing on the Toyota end.
Yeah, Craftsman sponsoring this number 20. May have some other paint schemes coming along in the season, but as for Daytona in the first half, this is what we're going to see. And DJ Kurtis, a very decorated stock car racing veteran in the short track scene, got picked up for Flipside Motorsports just because everyone knows he's a good driver. I mean, DJ is very well known, and he's going to get the job done if you give him the car. So let's see if Flipside gave him the car and see what his first lap's going to be.
Coming to the stripe, you're looking for a 47.6, seems to be the trend, and we'll see if that Toyota brings it up there. 47.7.
Looks like he's going to be right in the middle of the runners so far.
That isn't a death sentence. I mean, the first lap isn't always a true sign, but it's a good indicator so far through the 8 cars that we've had on the track. Taken to the backstretch now. Craftsman Monster Energy Toyota there.
Yeah, Monster Energy might take more of a presence in the upcoming races, at least for a nighttime variant and other types of paint schemes. But yeah, this 20 is looking very, very in the middle right now. Not lighting the timesheets on fire, but let's see what he gets.
47.383, so that puts him just below Blake Warren and above Bobby Jones there, so that will be position number 7 for the first entry for the Flipside Toyotas here at Daytona. Coming to the stripe now, the 10th car to take the track. It is the number 82 Swisher Sweets Ford of Tess Tickle III, driving for Dick Hare Racing. You just absolutely love to see it. That car burning like a cigarello, heading down the backstretch.
I don't know if I can really keep a straight face talking about this person's name, but the Swisher Sweets car is looking real, real nice going around the track. And let's see what the first time is that they put down.
We'll see if this car is worth 99 cents or the $1.29 that inflation has hiked it up to.
God damn it.
I know, they've taken a lot from me. But coming to the stripe, Tess Tickle III, 47.863, pretty slow first time around.
Oh, God. Testicle is not having a good time out there.
Not a good first lap, and their teammate Seth Cole, P1 on the board. That's quite a different story.
Yeah, drastic equipment difference. Like I said, you know, they probably put all the equipment into that 52, and then everything else is just a sponsor resource. So the 82 is just a big billboard running around here, and we're going to see how big of the billboard can get, if that even makes any sense. I don't think I even said that right. The 82 is going to come across to get a second lap done either way.
Yeah, we'll see how sweet the Swisher is looking as they come to the line. 47.481, that is actually the slowest time on the board. That puts them below Buddy Barksdale, and I'm sure they're just happy not to be last anymore. So for Tess Tickle III for Dick Hare Racing, that is P10 as of right now.
Terrible lap time for the 82, but that's amazing.
10 cars down out of 46, and here is car number 11, the number 72 of Tristian Wilhoit, taken to the track for Misfit Motorsports. First time we were seeing a car out of that team, the 3-car operation based out of Canton, Ohio. We'll see how their cars are performing here today. Another Chevy taken to the track. See if they got anything for the Fords.
Yeah, Wilhoit's got an interesting backstory. He's joined the Ohio gang and gone with the Misfit Motorsports guys, and he's coming all the way from Alaska joining them. So he's been around doing a lot of road course things in the northern part of the United States and Canada and all that. And he's done an amazing job and landed himself some big sponsorship along with the rest of the Misfits crew. And these cars look extremely nice. Probably my actual favorites.
Yeah, the Mountain Dew cars taken to the track this week. All 3 of them are going to be driving Mountain Dew paint schemes. And we'll see. What was his first lap? 7.75. Looking pretty good here. And we had an interview scheduled for this one, but I think we talked too much. We'll try to get with that driver for the next one. We're going to see where this Mountain Dew machine ends up on the leaderboard here. 7.75. That's one of the faster laps that we've seen out of the last couple of entries.
Yeah, definitely faster than Tickle and I believe it was a little bit faster than Kurtis as well. So we'll see where this lands the 72 at coming out of turn 4.
And they need to be above Kurtis to be out of the bottom 4. That doesn't eliminate them from the race, but it puts them in a better spot. 47-3-7-7. So that actually...
It's a tie.
That ties them with Blake Warren for position 6. And I think just based on the order, that will put them below that number 88 machine of Blake Warren. And that is who our interview was scheduled with. And we'll get with him once the next car takes to the track. But currently, P7 for Tristian Wilhoit. Coming to the line, the first entry out of Revolution Racing. It is the 66 of Harry Klein, and we are going to throw her to our interview. We have Blake Warren standing by after his lap that put him P6 on the board. Blake, how you feeling after that?
Feeling pretty good. The car ran pretty well, all things considered. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of a side force wind that was up against the car, so couldn't get it all the way down the backstretch and get it as fast as I wanted to, but respectable qualifying lap, and I'm happy with what we got. I don't know what's going to happen between Tristian Wilhoit and I, but man, yeah, definitely a very tight qualifying battle thus far.
Yeah, I was wondering how you felt about that lap. It looked very similar to the one that you put down. Dylan, do you have any questions for our lovely driver Blake Warren here as Harry Klein's about to put down a 47.838?
Yeah, Blake, how you feeling about your car? How you feeling about Daytona? How you feeling about everything that's going on this weekend? You excited for MRC Speed Weeks to start?
Absolutely. Daytona's got a great deal of history surrounding it, so for myself or anyone to win this race is a great privilege. We've definitely worked very hard in the off-season to be able to get our drivers and get our team ready for this event, so all it really comes down to is just hoping that our engine program lasts for the entirety of the event, and we've got good people to be able to work with that hopefully myself or one of my other teammates can be able to get a win here at Daytona.
Well, your cars look very clean, and good luck to you guys. And Harry Klein's coming to the second lap that he's going to complete. What's he going to run?
Looks like it'll be a 47.444. So that will put him P9, just above Bobby Jones, right below DJ Kurtis. And that puts him right in the cutoff zone there, right in the bottom 4, but still plenty of cars to go by. We'll see if that 66 will hold on to that spot. Coming to the line now, it's the first entry for Roush Fenway Kiani Racing. It is the number 16 Hooters machine of George Buffle, another Ford taken to the track. And we did mention that some of the Fords are pretty fast, but we got 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom so far, so we'll see where RFK has put their program.
Yeah, this RFK program is pretty well put together. I believe they have 4 cars already, and they're all fully sponsored and sealed off. So, yeah, these guys are very well prepared coming into the season. A bunch of Ford brigades. They're kind of on their own island, like I said, but this is probably the biggest team out of all of them besides Team SB. So, we'll see what the 16 can come to the line and do, and see how scrappy this lap is or not.
And at the line, 47.701. That's a pretty good first lap from what I've seen so far.
I believe that was right on par with actually Squizato's lap. So let's see what George Buffle can actually produce here. This could be a great lap.
It's definitely the speed you want to have through your first time around. Take over the Hooters on board here. Some nice eyes watching us.
Always watching us is the Hooters owl.
You know, I just put together what that was supposed to represent. Anyways.
Always watching.
To the line, George Buffle. 47.301. It's one of the faster laps we've seen recently. That puts him P3 on the board. Good looking race car these Fords are so far when they're trimmed out the way they need to be. Our next contender to take to the stripe is a number 2 of Carlos Mendes, also driving for No Limits Racing.
Yeah, Carlos Mendes, a part of that all-international No Limits Racing. This 2 car is very, very bright. Stands out very, very decently compared to the other cars. Maybe the 52 might be the only one who stands out more, but Yeah, this car shines bright on the racetrack, and hopefully it goes just as fast as it looks.
A very beautiful race car, this number 2 machine, I must say. We also got the uniforms Chevy Camaro.
Shout out to Kurtis Racing Designs for always whipping up the best paint schemes I've ever seen.
And coming to the line, Chevy puts down a identical lap actually to Buffle's. So we'll see what they end up putting down for lap number 2. Yeah, they might be finding some speed out there.
Yeah, the track might be picking up, wind might be lessening. Everything's getting hotter. It's going to make everything a little bit better for all these guys.
And remember his teammate, Emmy Squizato, P4 on the board right now with a 325. And Buffle in that 301, so if the trend stays the same, he's going to be right there with his teammate. Which shows that these no limits cars, I think these Chevrolets are probably at least at this point, they're the most well put together ones. And we'll see if they prove that point. 47.325, that actually ties their teammate, Emmy Squizato. So that'll actually put them P5 since they qualified afterwards. So yeah, I mean these no limit Chevrolets, they're looking very good so far. Coming to the line this time around, it's another no limits racing car, this time the 3 of Gabriel Romao and that number 3 Crunchyroll machine. Beautiful looking anime vehicle right there. We'll see if they can match their teammates, who are currently 4th and 5th at the moment with the same exact lap time.
Yeah, Romao in the Crunchyroll Chevrolet Camaro. It's another no limits car. Let's see what they can do. So far, they've been pretty quick.
Yeah, if they can match that performance, it'll be very interesting to see how the rest of Speed Weeks goes. Well, now they have a very good Super Speedway program. I know for sure the last time by, Mendes set a 7:01, so we'll see 7:91. So nearly a 10th off so far on the first lap by, but I mean, still another lap to go. So far, Seth Cole and Shane Sides have locked themselves into the front row of the first Daytona event. See if anyone can dethrone them so far. 15 cars have taken to the track so far, including this 3.
Yeah, so far just 2 Fords at the front and then another one right behind them. So if the Chevys can interrupt them, that'll be a big accomplishment, but the Blue Oval's fastest so far.
47.395. That puts him right below DJ Kurtis, just barely safe from the cutoff there, at least in qualifying. So P number 11 for the 3 of Gabriel Romao. Coming to the stripe this time, it's the first representative from Skylight Racing, the 23 AlphaTauri Toyota. Victor Nunez here. So far the Toyotas, have we even seen more than one so far? We might have only seen Spike. I can't remember if we've seen DJ in 10th. And I think those are the only 2 that we've seen so far. So we'll see if Victor has anything in this Toyota Camry that can compete with the Fords there at the front and some of the heavy hitting Chevys. That pole time so far, it's very impressive.
It's holding up for sure. It's definitely holding up. It's a few hundredths clear of what Shane was able to run, so he's still got some cushion even if someone comes a little bit closer.
Yeah, for sure. 47.775 this time from Victor Nunez. Might put him pretty well on par with DJ. Very nice looking paint scheme. I do like that car. It's a good thing they're not mandatorily being changed to be something else. They can keep this sponsor. They're allowed to have it. And coming to the stripe this time, let's see what Victor does. 47,397. So that puts him right below Gabriel and right above the cutoff line. So the 16th driver by, barely scrapes by. He's going to be 12th place on the board at the moment. And rounding out the No Limits Racing squad, it is the 21 of Pedro Lucas, another one of the owner drivers in the series. And we'll see if he can equalize his top teammates of Emmy and Carlos in 4th and 5th place. Gabriel kind of missing the mark there, but we'll see what this 21 has brought to the table here at Daytona.
Yeah, I got the Surfshark colors all over that car. By the way, y'all should use it. Very good VPN. And
I think Misfit Motorsports would disagree, but continue.
hey, listen, I've had personal experience with it. It's very nice. And just like this paint scheme, it does the job, and it does everything very quickly. So let's see if he can top the charts or at the bottom of the charts. Who knows? We'll find out when he crosses the line this lap.
Yeah, we'll see what the first lap puts him. 47 and 7's across the board. If he was in Vegas, those would be very good numbers, but unfortunately for racing, that's something a little bit faster than that, but we'll see what he can pull out of the bag here.
Well, the repeat number stigma, I guess, doesn't work in MRC because the 444 lap times P12 at the moment. So, yeah, those lap times with the repeating numbers, they may be cool, but they're not the times to win pole, at least, unless you're on a 222.
Yep, if you could get that, you'd beat Seth Cole's time, which has been holding since the very beginning. He was the 5th car on track, and this is car 16, and it looks like he might hang on to that position. As
Let's
we'll
see
see
what
him
he
come
runs.
in. Yep, car 17, excuse me. 47.397, and that actually ties Victor Nunez. So a lot of drivers just barely scraping by, getting above that bottom 4. So that will be, excuse me, yeah, that'd be P13 for Pedro Lucas. So, I mean, pretty decent lap time there. And taking their first lap this time by another Alpha Connolly Racing entry, this time the 44 Cookout Machine of Ryan Jasper. A beautiful looking race car. It literally looks like it's on fire. And in terms of the trends with the teammates, Cody Llamas, P6, the only other Alpha Connolly car to take to the track. A 47.337. We'll see what he brings to the table this time by. .47.74. Not a bad first lap. Really no time to beat. Like I said, if you're in the bottom 4, you're not eliminated right away, but it's just going to be difficult for you in the dual races. So at this point, you're really gunning for those top 2 spots. You want to be completely safe from any sort of elimination. 47.365. That puts Ryan Jasper in a pretty safe position. That puts him below Cody Llamas, just above Spike Stinson. It'll be P7 for him. This time by Ryan Reed's Motorsports brings the number 38 Toyota to the table. This is Alison Figueroa, taken to the high banks of Daytona for the first time. Ryan Reed Racing, a 2-car operation alongside Richard Johnson in 93. We'll see where this Toyota can land on the table here. Highest qualifying one so far is Spike Stinson up in 8th place with that 47.368. See where lap 1 puts this 38 car. 47.701. It's been a pretty common lap. Round 3 and 4 for the final time. And at the stripe. 47.323. That moves him into 4th place, so most definitely the highest qualifying Toyota driver on the board so far. Definitely well safe from elimination. Very close to the front of the pack. So we'll see if that time holds on. Very good time from Ryan Reed Motorsports. Coming to the line, it's another entry from Warren Racing. Hopefully they don't qualify basically last like Buddy Barksdale did. This is Austin Pebbles in the Tire Pros car.
Blake Warren was a bit more lucky than Barksdale was, but Pebbles could be the overall equalizer between those guys. He could put it up in the front row and give the Chevy something to be proud about, but so far, everybody in the top 5 except Emmy Squizato is a Ford or a Toyota.
Yeah, I was just going to point that out. You'd think the Chevys would be good around here, but so far they're not really looking too hot with the 2 Fords very early on in the session, taking P1 and 2.
Yeah, the blue oval's looking good so far, to be honest, especially on the bigger tracks.
All right, Austin Pebbles, what do you got here? 47, 7-4.
About right in the middle, I'd say.
Not a bad time.
A lot of these first lap times are pretty much similar. It's the second one that really is going to make or break everything. So we'll see what he can get.
Very nice looking race car, I must say.
I think every MRC race car is the best looking race car out there. I'm going to be honest, and that's not a joke. I think all these cars are awesome.
I can't wait to see that 52 leading the field to the green if that position holds.
So far, he clocked the fastest. Let's see where Austin Pebbles ends up.
47.357, that is 8th place. Not bad at all. The third driver from Alpha Connolly Racing, it is Joey Murphy in the Target Chevrolet Camaro. I didn't know what I wanted to say, Chevy or Chevrolet. And they both came out at the same time. As far as teammates, Cody Llamas, P7. And the other one... Where was the other driver? Ryan Jasper, P9. Both in the 47.3s.
Yeah, Joey Murphy coming around here in this Target machine. Minnesota-based company, Minnesota-based driver right here. So it only makes perfect sense to have them together here on the racetrack.
And we'll see what he does lap 1. 47.75. It's not a bad first lap as we've seen. I think Austin Pebbles had a very similar first lap going by. He is dead in the middle of Llamas and Jasper.
Yeah, the Alpha Connolly cars looking like they got some alright speed. We're still yet to see the 95, but so far they're all in the show, and they're putting down times that would be good enough to make it in.
And pretty much as long as you get a 0.3 at this point, you're at least safe from the bottom 4.
Yeah, every single 0.4 lap time is outside of the cutoff at the moment. So we'll see what the 43 can run.
Lap 2, 47.37. And that's actually tied with Blake and Tristian Wilhoit.
A three-way tie.
So that will put him P13. Flipside Motorsports sends out another driver in the form of Ash Kurtis this time. Brother DJ in position 14 at the moment. We'll see what this Toyota has for the field. I mean, so far only 4 Toyotas have gone out, so we can't really get a good indicator of where exactly they'll be. They're all really different spots at the moment.
Yeah, Ash going out here in the bright blue Peak machine. His teammate DJ Kurtis up there in 14th position. Not really ideal, but we'll see if this car has a bit more speed and if he can lap a faster time than his brother and have some sibling rivalry going on in here. So let's see what can come out of it.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a little bit of in-team competition to make each other a little bit better. We'll see what lap 1 brings. 47.781. A little bit on the slower end there.
Must be a bird somewhere up in this booth because I'm hearing something strange. Ash Kurtis coming out of turn number 2.
Yeah,
We're going to see what kind of time he can run this second lap here.
we are definitely in Florida right now. Ash Kurtis on the backstretch. See what this peak machine can bring to the table for lap number 2. Hopefully, all they need is a 47.3 to just not be eliminated, or in the bottom 4, I should say. Coming to the stripe. 47 points. 392. So, I mean, ask for the bare minimum, and that's what they deliver. So that will be P15. They're going to be right below DJ Kurtis. With that 47.392, nearly halfway through qualifying so far. And coming to the stripe this time, the number 31 of Roberto Crown Jr. for Powerhouse Crown Racing. Just a single car up for this team, and they're sponsored by a whole ass anime Beyblade burst. Let it rip,
Huge.
indeed. Very huge. They have one of the sickest opening songs for any anime I've ever seen, not gonna lie. And the Beyblade lore is very expansive. Did you know in Beyblade lore that Moses parted the sea with a Beyblade?
How on earth did he do it?
But he just spun the Beyblade, he just did it.
He just let it rip.
He let it rip. And Roberto Crown is gonna rip 7.72 around Daytona for lap number 1.
Well, so far he's ripping a whole lot of ass around this track.
Still plenty of time to be made up, though. It's not a horrible first lap as we've seen so far. He's gonna let it rip around 3 and 4.
Roberto Crown Jr. coming out of turn number 4 here. He's going to let it rip all the way to the finish line.
And we'll see where Crown puts his race car. Oh, it's going through all the cameras. 47.384. Right below DJ Kurtis once again, so 15th place for that number 31 machine. And I promise during the race we won't be this terrible.
I'm going to let it rip.
Alright, coming to the line this time by, it's the red Mountain Dew car of Cam Vanderhorst, the second Misfit Motorsports entry we have seen. And standing by, we actually have Joey Murphy with an interview. Joey, how was your lap? How does your car feel? And how are you liking MRC so far?
I love the series and everything like that. My Alpha Connolly racing car was actually, I mean, it was pretty fast, just a little tight for this qualifying setup. I couldn't really stick the bottom as much as I'd like, but I feel pretty good for a dual race, and we'll see how we come out of that.
Yep, so far your car is looking pretty good. Your team is looking pretty solid so far, and we'll see if you guys can put together a pretty good set of dual races and get yourself a good starting spot for the main Daytona race coming up. Cam Vanderhorst with a 47.7.3. Dylan, you got anything for Joey?
Yeah, Joey, how you feeling about having Target on the car, being from Minnesota? How you feel about that?
I mean, it's great to have the local representation. I just want to do well for them, and it'd be a fun season coming up. The main goal is to win a race or two and see how we can turn out at the end of the season. If we can come away as champions, great. If not, if we win a race or two, it's a success in our books.
Well, looks like you guys have a long partnership ahead, and I wish you guys good luck. Cam Vanderhorst coming out of turn number 4, trying to complete his lap for now. Thank you, Joey. And we'll see what Cam can run just now.
Cam 47.339. That is one of the faster recent laps. That puts him P8 on the board. Right below Cody, right above Austin Pebbles Jr. Coming to the line this time, the 25th driver to take the track. This is the owner of Team SB, Eric Rodriguez. A very fine-looking Menards number 77 machine there, representing his hero, Robbie Gordon. Teammate Shane Sides put his car in second place as of right now. We'll see what this Ford of Eric Rodriguez can do around the high banks of Daytona. Hard to really get a gauge of the speed. And they're all just kind of flat-footing it. But we will see once he gets to the line here what that 77 car can do. To the line this time. Oh, 47.919. That is the slowest first lap that we have seen from anybody that I can recall. Not looking good, that 77. It's hard to really make up any time, too. Well, we'll see what that 77's got under the hood. And we will listen to it also. Alright, to the line this time. Can he beat Tess Tickle at least? Not even close. And Eric Rodriguez puts that 77 machine in last place. As of right now, more than about 3/10 off the leader. And the second car from Beacon Penske to hit the track. This is Cal Farrell in the 22 Freight Auctions machine. Teammate Bobby Jones put it 22nd on the board, ironically matching the number on the car. But I'm sure this team wants to be faster than that. Ford's kind of all over the place on the board right now. You're either in the top 3 or you're in the bottom 4. Let's see what Cal can do here on the first lap. Trends have kind of shown you are looking to set, I'd say, a 47, 6 or 7 on lap 1. So we'll see what Cal can pull out here. And a 6.65, that is pretty good, I'd say. Guess we'll see how the Fords perform in the duels. Should be pretty interesting to see how that all shakes up. Chevy's also kind of all over the board. You got a lot of Chevys in the field, though. Toyota's kind of also a lot of parity in this field. Fords just aren't really sprinkled out throughout the mid-pack there. Still plenty going on throughout this entire season. Plenty of different tracks to go to. But the focus right now on Daytona and race number 1. And Cal Farrell, a 47.307. That puts him in 4th place, right below George Buffle. So the trend of either high or either low continues for those Fords. Great showing for Beacon Penske in that 22 machine. Coming to the line this time is the owner of Alpha Connolly Racing. This is Dylan Connolly in a pretty interesting paint scheme. Got plenty of those going around in MRC so far this season. So far, his teammates on the board: Cody Llamas in 8th, Ryan Jasper in 11th, Joey Murphy in 15th. Not looking too bad so far. See what kind of speed this 95 has. Lap number 1, Chevy's, like we mentioned, kind of all over the place. Cal Farrell knocked Squizato out of the top 5. Let's see if that 95 can bring him right back into it. .45.597. That is incredibly fast. Second time by the money lap. Let's see what he puts down. 47.218. And for the first time since Seth Cole put his lap down, the 5th car on track, we have a new pole sitter. And that knocks Shane Sides out of the guaranteed spot of being locked in for the main Daytona race. And now Seth Cole on the bubble of illumination also on the front row. Dylan Connolly, 218. Taking to the stripe this time, the 55 of Natan Amoedo. Representing flip sides, the third flip sides car to hit the track so far. DJ put it 17th and Ash put it 19th on the board so far. So flip side so far beneath Gateway Racing and Ryan Reed Motorsports in terms of their Toyota entries. Track might be getting a little bit quicker though. Last two guys have put their cars in the top 5. Let's see what Natan does here. It's gonna do this time 47.670. It's another one of the faster lap times. Stanley Tools machine looking quick through the first lap here. $28 out of the 46 drivers hitting the track so far. I think we got another 18 to go. And we have decided our duel order. To the line this time, Natan Amoedo. 47.294. That puts him 4th place beneath Shane's sides, and that is the 3rd car that has gotten in the top 5 in a row. Great run there from Natan. P4. And we got another car out of the RFK camp. This time it is the 06 of Cameron Lessard and a beautiful looking John Deere Ford Mustang. Teammate George Buffle put it in 5th place. Let's see if he can match that performance. The last 3 drivers in the top 5. We'll see if he can continue that. Still can't believe that lap time from Dylan Connolly, 47.218. Couldn't believe that we even got 4 times in the underneath the 47.3 there. Let's see what happens when Lessard takes to the line this time. 6.79. Yeah, this track must be heating up for these guys. And where's this 06 gonna land on the leaderboard? 47.290, just barely beating Natan Amoedo. Snipes 4th place away from him. Great run from that 06 there, and Fenway Kiani, I mean, 2 cars in the top 10. Had 2 in the top 5 before that 06 came along. Great runs from these last 4 guys. 3rd and final entry from Misfit Motorsports. In the Baja Blast colors, this is Tristen Allen. So far his teammates Cam Vanderhorst in 12th place, and the other Tristen, spelled differently, in 17th at the moment. To the line this time, 47.374. That puts Tristen right below Spike Stinson. That is 16th place on the board. And for the first time, we are going to see a car from Team Toms. This is Eric DeMax. And the all too familiar Castrol colors associated with Team Toms. I guess looking to make a transition to the oval side of racing. There's a beautiful looking Toyota Camry there. Max's teammate Ryan Reed, interestingly enough, owns Ryan Reed Motorsports, who's put a car in P8, so I'm sure Eric would like if his car could, you know, at least best that. The last couple drivers have put their cars in top 10. Let's see what Lap 1 indicates here. We'll see what Eric can do. 47.795. Pretty slow first lap there. Not the slowest we've seen. Certainly not the fastest. Might have brought it up once or twice before, but really no threat of elimination in terms of not making the race. Of course, you have the dual races. That's where you could be eliminated. But you want to qualify in those top 2 spots that Connolly and Seth Cole currently occupy, because that guarantees you the spot in the Daytona race. Of course, guaranteeing the front row. And we'll see where Eric DeMax goes. 47.404. And that will put him in 26th place. Right above Harry Klein, another fellow Toyota driver. 404 to Max. Around 3 and 4, 32nd entrant to this MRC Daytona event. Representing RFK Racing once again, this is Matt Mitchell in the Jack Daniels Ford Mustang. So far on the board, George Buffle and Cameron Rossard put both those cars in the top 10. Looking to continue that trend here. And we'll see what Nathan Chiani can do later on. Whenever his number is drawn here. It is a random draw. I probably should have mentioned that. See where lap 1 puts this number 6. 47.767. Well, if I had to make a rough estimate, probably somewhere top 20. Probably 15th to 20th. But what do I know? We'll see where he ends up putting that number 6. Round 3 and 4 again. And the Jack Daniels machine will go. 47.378. Puts him 19th place, just below Joey Murphy. 33rd driver to put down their lap time today, Tristian Vargas, in one of my favorite paint schemes in the field, the Burger King Toyota Camry. Beautiful looking race car that one is. Tristian Vargas representing Revolution Racing alongside Harry Klein. Harry Klein put his car 28th. Let's see if Vargas can do any better than that. Natan Amoedo, the last Toyota to put down a pretty quick lap time, up in P5. And DeMax, of course, put down the 404 to put him 27th place. So, see where this Toyota ends up on the timing sheets here. 664, pretty good first lap around. See what he's got for his second one. That could put him in the top 10. Through 3 and 4 pretty good. Let's see if he'll have it his way. With a good starting position for the Daytona duels. At the stripe. 272. Almost got to that front row, but he did snipe third place away. Tristian Vargas P3 on the board. Very fast Toyota. And the last driver from the Flipside Garage, it is Michael Sweeney in the Irwin Tools Toyota Camry. Let's see what he brings to the table here. So far, you got Natan in 6th place, DJ 22nd, and Ash in 24th. So, pretty interesting spread there in the speed. We'll see where this 18 puts it. We'll see if he goes right smack dab in the middle. Maybe a little better, a little worse. Of course, you know that 18's hoping for a little better. Gotta believe. Out of 3 and 4, let's see how he does. 47 point something. What will it be? 47, 7, 4, 3. A lot of different tools being represented by this team, I've noticed. They've got the tool industry pretty much on a monopoly here. Let's see what Swinney brings to the line this time around. 47.352. Puts him 14th place. The 35th driver to set their lap time for Daytona is the 11 machine of Zachary Fitzwater, representing Skylight Racing. Second out of 3 drivers who will be attempting to make the field for the race, alongside Victor Nunez and Dan Rivera, who still has yet to go out on the track. Mentioned the Toyotas all day, but they've kind of managed to get some cars mid-table, so Toyota's looking like a pretty strong threat this season. Over the Fords, I mean, so many of them in the top 10. You got Cole, Sides, Lassard, Buffle, and Farrell. So, I mean, you got 6 right there, or 5 right there, excuse me. I can't even count today. But we'll see where Fitzwater puts this car. 47.586, and that is up there with Dylan Connolly's lap time. We'll see if Fitzwater can snipe the pole position away from the 95 machine of Connolly. iRacing must be putting a lot of money into this car. Out of 3 and 4, let's see what he brings. Zach Fitzwater to the line. 47.212, and that does indeed take the pole position away from Dylan Connolly. And Seth Cole, for the first time in a very long time, bumped out of the top 2. He is no longer 100% safe from elimination. Zach Fitzwater, provisional pole right now, 1st place. And the sibling of Spike Stinson now coming to set his lap time for Daytona. This is Dane Stinson, the 2nd car out of Gateway Racing in the Toyota Express Maintenance Camry there. Spike set down a 47 point, let me click my telemetry screen here real quick. 47.368, and that put him 18th at the moment. See where Dane comes out. And all this coming to the line to take his first lap through 3 and 4. See what Dane can do here. At the line, 47.801. One of the slower times. Where is he going to be this time around? 47.406. That puts him in 31st place, so just barely surviving the bottom 4 zone there. And the last entry out of the RFK Racing camp, this is Nathan Kiani, one of the other owner drivers in the field. And he's always wanted to be an Oscar Mayer wiener, and here he is. He is an Oscar Mayer wiener. His teammates so far have put down a, let's see here, Cameron Lassard in 6th place, George Buffle in 8th place, And Matt Mitchell in 23rd on the board currently as they stand. See if Kiani can get another Ford up there in that top 10. Looking pretty strong. Looking at that leaderboard there. Chevy only has one more car to take to the field. They only got one in the top 10 at the moment. First lap by for Kiani, an 8.59. Another slow lap there. Track might be cooling down a bit. Does look a little bit darker in 1 and 2. But we'll see if Kiani can do something. Ten cars remaining, 9 after Kiani ends up getting his lap down. And once we get to that final 4, we'll see who's looking pretty good and who's not so much. Kiani to the line, see if he can stave off the bottom 4. 47.4, 5.3, and just barely, because that will put him 33rd position. Hitting the line this time, the last entry out of Beacon Penske Racing. This is Kyler Sistrai, the Advanced Auto Parts Ford Mustang. Very sharp looking race car. I'm loving this one. Kind of a mixed bag on the board right now. Kyle Farrell in 9th, and you got Bobby Jones in 34th. About 10th and a half apart. We'll see what speed the 12 brings to the line right off the bat, though. First time to the line, what do they got? 47.637, pretty good lap time there. And Kyler Sustrai will bring it home. 47.241. So definitely a top 10 lap time, top 5 lap time. That takes 4th place away from Christian Vargas. And this driver has a name that is a bit familiar to me. This is the very nice number 69 amp energy machine of R.J. Reynolds, representing Kev Shear Racing Tech. Very, very interesting. Let's see what this 69 Chevrolet brings to the table. No teammates, single car operation, so not really much to judge off of other than the speed of the other Chevys. And you got like the outlier of Dylan Connolly up in 2nd place, and pretty much 12th through 23rd is owned by Chevy, with the occasional Toyota sprinkled in there. Let's see what pace he's going to bring to the line here. 47.804, so pretty slow time there. Gonna be one of the slower Chevys. R.J. Reynolds to the time, or to the line this time by 47.435. Puts him 33rd. To the line this time by another representative from Team SB. This is Luis Hernandez. Hopefully going to do better than Eric Rodriguez did. Still currently dead last at the moment. However, Shane Sides in 6th place. At one point, he was in the lead. Or he might have been 2nd. Or no, he was in the lead, then Seth Cole took it from him. But we'll see what speed he has. Cory Williams still has yet to go, so 2 cars from Team SB, including Luis. We'll see what he puts down lap number 1 here. See if it'll be a fast one. 47.707, so not too bad lap number 1. Mendes to the line. Let's see what he has here. 3.27. So that'll put him 14th. Not too bad. To the line this time, it's the man who is double dipping. He's racing for one team and he owns another. This is Ryan Reed driving for Team Toms alongside Eric DeMax. Eric put down a 47.404, placing him 32nd as of right now. Of course, looking to be a little bit better than that. Again, aiming for the front row pretty much at this point. Of course, a good start in the duel wouldn't hurt. Maybe can avoid chaos if you're up front. Or perhaps in the back. I mean, that's also a strategy, but I mean, you don't want to chance that, I don't think. To the line, we'll see if he has the speed. 8.38, I don't think he'll have it. And approximately 48 seconds later, we'll see what Ryan Reed can do here. 4.53, pretty far down the table. That ties Keani's time, but that will put him right below Keani. 37th place for Ryan Reed. And the last entry from Dick Hare Racing. This is Jacques DeCock. And another car that stands out pretty well, the number 35 bright yellow Bourgeois butt paste Ford Mustang. What a great race team this Dick Hare Racing is. This is a team to look out for, though, low-key. I mean, Seth Cole in 3rd place right now. However, Tess Tickle, second to last right now. Out of the current drivers who's qualified. God, I just cannot talk today. Done 41 of these things so far, so, you know, it's starting to get to me a little bit. Let's see, Jacques DeCock, you got anything for us? Anything interesting? 47.814, so probably not. And coming to the stripe, 47.439. That puts him 35th on the table. And just like that, we have our final four. This time around, Cory Williams, last entry out of Team SB. Red Zapple Ale, Ford Mustang. Got a lot of beautiful looking race cars. It's going to be a great season just to watch aesthetically, I think. Really hope you guys are enjoying this qualifying. I know it's very long, but stuff like this is what me and Schwallenberg kind of live for. So we hope you enjoy things like this. We also understand if you just skip straight ahead and see where you end up qualifying, watching your run and all that stuff. To the line, Cory Williams. First lap by, is it going to be fast enough to really care about? 8.66, no it is not. So we're going to catch him once he gets to the stripe and we'll see what he puts down. And at the line, 47.468, that ties Bobby Jones. So that puts him 40th place. Not a good showing for Eric or Cory Williams from Team SB. 3 drivers remaining, Aiden Smith being one of them. And that number 89, Popeye's machine from Nova Sport Racing. 1 of 2 drivers on the team, but the only driver able to make the entry list for Daytona in time. See what this 89 can bring to the table as a preview for perhaps how teammate AJ Jones could be doing if he was able to make it in. Not really any threat to the front runners as of late. Last driver to really make an impact was Kyler Sustrai. That was quite a while ago. To the line this time, Aiden Smith. 47.681. It's one of the faster lap times. We're going to stick with this lap then. can't really remember the times that Fitzwater, Connolly, Cole, or Suster I put down. But it definitely is one of the faster lap times. Down the back stretch. Very nice looking Popeye's car, I gotta say. Man, I've just complimented pretty much every single paint scheme, but I mean, they all deserve it, really. To the line, Aiden Smith. Can he take the pole? 281. No, but it will. Take 7th place away from Cameron Wassard. And I think that should secure the top 10. Perhaps the top 5 in his respective dual race. So great lap from Aiden Smith. 281. 2 cars remaining. Richard Johnson takes the stripe this time. Representing Ryan Reed Motorsports. And it's been a while since Alison Figueroa hit the track. And Richard Johnson looking to put up a performance pretty similar to that. Figueroa currently in 12th. But the goal right now is to snipe one of those top 2 positions away from Fitzwater or Connolly. And lock yourself into the show at Daytona. Round 3 and 4, we'll see if Richard has anything for us. 833, and I don't think he will. We'll rejoin him once he takes to the line. Richard Johnson, 47, 432, and that puts him 35th. The 46th and final driver, last but certainly not least, representing Skylight Racing, Dan Rivera, and the number 17 Gear Wrench Toyota Camry. See if he has anything for any of the top 2. Zachary Fitzwater has already clinched his spot at Daytona, so he'll either start first or second, and you lock up the front row by being first or second. And speaking of Fitzwater, that is Rivera's teammate. And Victor Nunez qualified 31st. So mixed bag. Pretty much for every single team. There's not really one that's been incredibly consistent. We'll see where the 11 gets lap 1 though. 7:01. It's one of the more interesting lap times. And we're going to stick with this lap because why not? I mean, it's the last driver. 7:01. I'll make a bold bold prediction. I'm gonna say they steal 13th from Squizato. We'll go there. That's what we'll say they do. Round 3 and 4. Oh, what a camera. That's pretty cool. To the line, Daniel Rivera, 47.322. Oh, I was 1 spot away. They stole 12th place away from Alison Figueroa, and that does it for Daytona qualifying. Zachary Fitzwater and Dylan Connolly have officially clinched their spots into the main show at Daytona, and we're going to have your dual lineups and full qualifying results in just a moment here. Stick with us. And you can see the dual number 1 starting lineup here. Zachary Fitzwater, of course, who got the pole, going to be starting first in that race, and he already has his spot locked into the Daytona 250. But everyone else on this board, they're going to be fighting to stay above these top 2 or the bottom 2 spots to make sure that they are locked into the race. See Tristen Allen and Tristian Wilhoit, Pedro Lucas, Gabriel Romao, a couple drivers who are teammates. They want to make sure that both those cars don't drop in that bottom 2. That way they can both make the race together. And rounding out the field, Ryan Reed, Cory Williams, Tess Tickle III, Gotta stay out of those bottom 2 spots if you want to make it into the main race at Daytona. That'll effectively keep you safe in the season if you can at least make that race. Duel number 2, starting on the pole, Dylan Connolly, of course, who got 2nd place and locked himself onto the front row for the main race. And you see everyone else up on the table there. 2 RFK cars starting up pretty high in the field, as well as 2 Team SB cars. Spike Stinson, Blake Warren, Joey Murphy, DJ Kurtis, Ash Curtis. A lot of teammates running together in this race. Nunez, DeMax, Johnson, DeCock, and Keani. Pretty much the entire Roush camp is in this race. Bobby Jones, Buddy Barksdale, and Eric Rodriguez rounding out the field for duel number 2. Hopefully Rodriguez can find some speed. That car looked very slow in qualifying. Wants to make sure that he can make the Daytona race. And that about wraps up things here at Daytona. Next time we see you, it's going to be for the dual races. Duels number 1 and number 2 to determine the starting lineup for the Daytona 250, which will come shortly after that. Congratulations to Zachary Fitzwater for getting the inaugural pole in the MRC Cup Series. For Dylan Schwanberg and me, myself, Will Goss, we will be signing off, and we will see you next time for the duels at Daytona.